roll call, please?
Roll call. Chair Nickerson.
Here.
Vice Chair Martin.
Present.
Member Erbon.
Present.
Member Winters.
Here.
Member Lightfoot Ward is not here. Also present for the record, Janice Jacoby, Village Clerk, Christy Alou, Village Manager, and Joseph Geller, Village Attorney. You have a quorum.
Thank you very much, appreciate it. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Vice Chair Martin, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by, was that Councilperson Winters?
Yes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Hearing none, moving right along. The agenda item, Ms. Simmons, if you would please come to the podium. Number one is E1, that's 24 Northwest 86th Street. Would you give us a report on that and the staff recommendation?
Yes.
Are the clients here also for 24 Northwest 86th Street? Yeah, can you come to the other podium, please?
Yes, good evening. This is an application requesting a variance to convert a garage to a living area within an existing resident at 24 Northwest 86th Street. The site is 29,150 square foot lot that currently contains a 1940s single-family home. The proposed residential use is permitted in the Chapter 24. The proposed garage conversion will create a bedroom and a bathroom. The front of the home will remain as is, and the garage door will be replaced by a single window. The home was reviewed under the code and found to be consistent, and garage conversions are allowed through variance process. Just to note that off-street parking is provided in the existing driveway, and the recommendation is for approval.
Thank you very much. Any questions, comments from the committee? Seeing none, any questions or comments about this particular item from the audience? Hearing, seeing none, coming back to the committee, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
Moved by Councilperson Winters, second by Councilperson Erbon. Madam Clerk, may I please have a roll call?
Roll call. Councilperson Winters.
Yes.
Councilperson Erbon.
Yes.
Vice Chair Martin.
Yes.
Chair Nickerson.
Yes,
Motion passes 4-0.
thank you very much. When you get a chance, you'll have to see the clerk, and you have to see the clerk. Go see the clerk.
Okay.
She'll tell you the next.
Thank
The next one is E2, that's 9010 Northwest 3rd Avenue. It's another garage enclosure.
Yes, this applicant is requesting a variance to convert a garage to a living area at the existing residence, 9010 Northwest 3rd Avenue. The site is 8,025 square feet, and that currently contains a 1955 single-family home. The proposed residential use is permitted, and the proposed garage conversion will create a bedroom and a bathroom. The garage door will be replaced with a single window. Not included in this variance is an additional combined 291 square feet at the back of the house and a converted front patio. The home was reviewed under the code and found to be within the standards, and garage conversions are allowed through the variance process, and off-street parking is provided in the existing driveway. The recommendation is for approval.
Very much appreciate that. Any questions or comments from the committee? Seeing none, any questions or comments about this particular item from the audience? Seeing none, back to the committee. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Moved by Councilperson Winters, second by Vice Chair Martin. Madam Clerk, may I please have a roll call?
Roll call. Member Winters.
Yes.
Member Erbon.
Yes.
Vice Chair Martin.
Yes.
Chair Nickerson.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you very much, appreciate that. Thank you. Go see the clerk really quick. Next item is E3, that's 311 Northeast 90th Street. 311 Northeast 90th Street. It's another
Yep.
garage enclosure.
Yes, our final garage enclosure application tonight. Again, another variance to convert a garage to a living area. The residence is at 311 Northeast 90th Street. The site is 6,750 square feet in size and currently contains a 1950s single-family home. The proposed residential use is permitted, and the after-the-fact garage conversion created a bedroom. The garage door will remain in place. There is a code violation on this conversion currently, but this will alleviate that if it is approved. The home was reviewed under the code, and garage conversions are allowed by code through the variance process. Off-street parking is provided in the existing driveway, and the staff recommendation is for approval.
Questions or comments from the committee? Hearing, seeing none. Questions or comments from the audience? Seeing none, back to the committee. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
Moved by Member Winters, second by Member Erban. Madam Clerk, please have a roll call, please.
Roll call, Member Winters.
Yes.
Member Erbaum.
Yes.
Vice Chair Martin.
Yes.
Chair Nickerson.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. Also for the record, Member Lightfoot Ward is present.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am? The next one, E4, this is 8900 Northeast 4th Avenue. This is a site plan addition.
Yes, this applicant, John Nobody, is requesting site plan approval for construction of an addition to an existing residence at 8900 4th Avenue. This site is 9,590 square feet, and is currently contains a single-family home built in 1946. The proposed residential use is permitted under the code, and the proposed home addition is to create a second story, which will be a total of 3,155 square feet. There will be 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, and have a facade update, and a new semicircular driveway is proposed. An additional 299 square feet will be added to the house's footprint. The home was reviewed under the code and complies with the standards for site plan approval, and that is staff's recommendation that it is approved.
Thank you very much. Questions, comments from the council? From the committee? Questions, comments from the committee? Questions or comments from the audience?
I have one question.
Go ahead.
Are there any changes at all from the last time that we saw this application?
This should be the first time you're getting
That's
it.
what I thought, okay.
Mhm.
So, are there any issues whatsoever with the setbacks?
No.
That's my question.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
Did we take a long time? Did we take a long time?
Sorry, what took a long time?
Did we take a long time on this one?
Did we take a long time to review it?
Yeah,
No, I think just the standard amount of time.
okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments from the committee? Hearing, seeing none, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Do I have a second? Motion moved by Member Winters, second by Member Lightfoot Ward. Just 1 second. No problem. Yeah, roll call.
Roll call. Member Winters.
Yes.
Member Lightfoot Ward.
Yes,
Member Erbaum.
Yes.
Vice Chair Martin.
Yes.
Chair Nickerson.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Very much. Moving on to E5. This is 124 Northwest 89th Street. It's a site plan addition.
Yes, we have another request to construct addition to an existing home. This one is at 124 Northwest 89th Street. This site is 9,940 square foot in size and currently contains a single-family home built in 1940. The proposed residential use is permitted under this chapter 24. The proposed home addition is to the rear of the house. It will be 3,095 square feet and have 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. It conforms with all standards of our code, and no variants are requested, and approval is recommended by staff.
Do you have any comments or questions from the committee? Do you have any questions from the audience? Do I have a motion to approve by the committee?
So moved.
second.
So moved by Vice Chair Martin, second by Member Lightfoot Ward. Madam Clerk, may I please have a roll call, please?
Roll call. Member Member Winters.
Yes.
Member Lightfoot Ward,
Yes.
Member Erbaum,
Yes.
Vice Chair Martin,
Yes.
Chair Nicholson.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you very much. Moving on to E6, this is 151 Northeast 88th Street.
Okay, this is another addition to a home. This applicant is James and Robert Crew. They're requesting site plan approval. The residence is located at 151 Northeast 88th Street. This site is 8,662 square feet in size, currently contains a single-family home built in 1954. The proposed residential use is permitted, and the proposed home addition is on the side and rear of the house. It will be 2,868 square feet, have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And again, this one conforms with our code, and no variances are requested, and staff recommends approval.
Questions or comments from the committee? Questions or comments from the audience? Back to the committee. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion moved by Vice Chair Martin, second by Member Lightfoot Ward. Madam Clerk, please have a roll call.
Roll call, Member Winters,
Yes.
Member Lightfoot Ward,
Yes.
Member Erbaum,
Yes.
Vice Chair Martin,
Yes.
Chair Nicholson.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you very much. Next one, E7, 194 Northwest 91st Street.
Yes, this application is requesting site plan approval for construction of a new single-family residence. The location is 194 Northwest 91st Street. This site is 19,600 square feet in size. Currently, there is an existing home that was built in 1939. The proposed residential use is also permitted in the code, and the proposed home is to be 1 story at 4,284 square feet in size. It will have 5 bedrooms and 5.5 bathrooms and a 3-car carport. The home was reviewed under the code development standards, and it is consistent, and no variances are requested. The proposed design is for new residential, represents a somewhat contemporary architecture, but it is proportionate and scaled to compatible with the neighboring homes. The recommendation is for approval of this new single-family home. The applicant may still have an outstanding application with DERM, and that would be the one condition of approval, that is satisfied.
Thank you very much. Questions, comments from the committee?
What is the outstanding issue with Durham?
For a tree permit.
So I have a few questions. It's probably not just one tree, right? Because I see on your property you have multiple that have orange tags around them, and you have a lot of live old oaks there, and you have a full-on hedge. Your property looks like Sherwood Forest, but on the west side.
Sorry, could you repeat that? Sorry.
There's a lot of trees.
Yes.
Yes. So as you're going to be building the new project, how are you going to maintain the ambiance, maintain the trees, and protect them along the way?
Mm-hmm. So we, even before, and our architect is here, David, if he can come, that's fine. But even before we started the planning, we actually did it around the fact that it has a lot of vegetation and beautiful trees, and that's something that we want to definitely conserve.
Exactly. We are not touching any protected tree, just the trees in the back of the properties.
Okay.
Where are the
His name.
through David? I'm sorry, David Perez. So we are not touching a lot of trees, just 3 trees, I guess, in the back, and we are planting more trees.
So which trees are you touching in the back? What are they?
Avocados and mangoes.
Okay. And the oak trees are not going to be touched?
Not touching the tree.
And the 3 trees in the front yard that have the orange ribbons around them, what are those
We
for?
are not touching those trees, and we are planting more trees in the front.
Could you tell us why they were marked?
Excuse me?
Why have they been marked?
Oh,
They have been marked that because they were, when they did the tree survey, those are in the line, and they were not sure if those are ours or the neighbors. And it actually happens that are right in the line. But those trees are not going to be touched at all. And as you can see in the survey, is reflected those 3 right by the line.
So those trees are split between 2 properties?
Yes.
Okay, and will the roots get in the way of your driveway?
No.
No. Okay. And the front hedges in the front yard, are you touching any of those?
We want to maintain a maximum of the existing vegetation,
Mhm.
sorry. So,
So,
so we are not touching that. We are trying
Yeah.
to preserve a maximum of plants.
When we saw the property, the beauty of it, it was actually the vegetation.
okay.
So it's just gorgeous.
Beautiful vegetation.
It-
I just
yes.
want to make sure that it's going to be maintained because it's definitely a beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful piece of property. And it's one of the older homes here. It was 1936, right?
1939 is the,
1939?
yeah, is the house, yes.
Was there anything wrong with the house right now? Was
It
there
is-
rot? Was it spalding? Was it falling apart? I mean,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, she has some issues with the
A
roof
lot.
and some
Yeah.
elements, some structural elements of the house.
what's the current construction of the current house?
It's wood,
Is it wood?
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
They say they were gonna have mangoes on that property?
Sorry?
You have mangoes on that property?
Yes.
Remember me.
I wish I can. I have not tried one because the animals get the mango, so
I know.
but yeah, sure.
I do.
All right. Any other questions or comments from the committee? Okay, before I go to, the only thing I'm worried about you all is that, unlike everything else, this is a new site plan. It's not a addition or a garage conversion or anything like that. And I just think that we have to be really careful about new site plans, residentially. Because, you know, we do have like a certain character in El Portal as far as our homes go. And if we change that character, then we won't be kind of like who we are. That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. You know, this home is a, you know, an older Key West style home that they don't build anymore. And just who we are as a community, we appreciate the different character of the different homes in El Portal. So that's the only thing I'm kind of apprehensive towards and worried about, but I'll go to the audience first for questions and comments.
Greg Steer, 120 Northwest 86th Street. I just want to echo the mayor's comments. First of all, I'm not sure why we allocate 30 minutes to a planning and zoning meeting that has 7 different agenda items on it. That's about 4 minutes per agenda item. Actually, it's less because the mayor was late, but this is a complete tear down of a house that's almost 100 years old. 194 Northwest 91st Street was built in 1939 when FDR was in the White House. It was part of the New Deal housing initiative. Germany was invading Poland. This was just 2 years after El Portal was incorporated, which, by the way, was done mainly because they wanted to enact stricter zoning laws. This house has survived 32 major hurricanes, and we're going to spend, what, 4 minutes and then vote, which I guarantee you will be to approve and move this item on. And what do we get in its place? A 4,000 square foot generic concrete block, no offense to the architect. Some people like that style. It has 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, and of course, the requisite 3-car garage. Who here has a 3-car garage? Is this the new El Portal that the present council envisions for our future? I think we're erasing our history one house at a time. And in so doing so, we're destroying the very character, as the mayor said, that makes El Portal so special. If you really loved El Portal, you would figure out a way to add to this house and not demolish it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments from the audience?
What? Oh, yes, of course. May I?
Alexandra Baza, 120 Northwest 36th Street. I'm here to speak about transparency and accountability and the resident participation on a planning and zoning process. We've been told that Proservia was going to be delivering the updated zoning and design recommendations for El Portal by the end of the fall. Here it is, the end of the year, and we still don't have those recommendations. It is a framework to protect our village's unique scale, trees, and historic character while guiding responsible growth. However, those recommendations yet have to be seen. The delay leaves the village making development decisions without any updated standards or design guidelines. At the same time, projects continue to be approved rapidly, sometimes 7 projects in a single 30-minute, often with little or no discussion about lot coverage, tree preservation, or its historic impact. Almost every project gets approved regardless of those factors. It raises serious concerns about the due process and the community standards are truly being upheld. This lack of structure has lasting consequences. Every project approved without environmental, architectural, or contextual reviews creates irreversible impacts from tree loss and increased flooding and erosion of our village identity and property values. What makes this situation even worse is concerning that El Portal has no active citizen boards, no advisory committees where residents can participate in decisions that directly affect their neighbors. Section 705 of our charter clearly states that our charter revision commission, at least 7 residents should be appointed to review and recommend updates to our charter. That mechanism and the broader principles of resident participation in what ensures checks and balances, transparency, and responsibility in local governments. So tonight, I respectfully ask the council to provide a clear update of the delivery and timeline of the service recommendation, clarify how planning and zoning decisions are being evaluated without those updated standards, and to please take immediate steps to activate resident boards, starting with the Charter Revision Commission required under Section 705. Residents are not asking to slow down progress. We are asking to strengthen, to make it stronger through inclusion, clarity, and accountability. Our villages thrives when its people are involved, informed, and empowered to protect what makes El Portal special. Thank you.
Very much. Any other questions, comments from the audience?
Velvet Connolly, 355 Northeast 87th Street. So I do think it's on the village to look at properties and perhaps earmark them for historical preservation. I think it's, if somebody has purchased a property and they think that they can do something with it, then it's kind of like a bait and a switch to then come later and say, oh, you can't do this because it's historical. But I do think it is important that we preserve the historical character of the community, but that's on, I think, the council or the management to look over these properties that we have in our communities, especially something like this that's almost 100 years old, and then to earmark that as a historical property to protect it from being demolished, you know, in the future. So, you know, not sure on that standpoint, you know, who the onus was on. I don't think it's necessarily on the person who purchases a home and then thinks that they can do something with it to find out later that maybe there's pushback, but I think the community should preserve the historical character, maybe through the village.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments from the audience?
Greg Steer, 120 Northwest 86th Street. Just to clarify, the council has every right to say no to this tear down. You buy a house, those are the chances that you take, that you go before the council and they say no because it's incompatible with the rest of the neighborhood or the village or whatever. So they have every right to vote it down.
Any other questions or comments from the audience?
Adam Simon, 360 Northeast 85th. I echo Mr. Steer's entire, you know, what he said before. I think that this house is absolutely gorgeous. You know, I would say, and that's my opinion, you bought the house. My opinion doesn't matter. But I would say, in my opinion, if this house was falling apart, it was infested with something that was going to make the house crumble in the next 10 years, there would be a right to take a 100-year-old house and just completely knock it down. I just don't understand why somebody would pay almost $1.5 million for a beautiful house and then go in and tear it down 2 months later when there's a 100-year history on this house that, from what I heard, is one of the oldest houses in El Portal. I mean, this is an incredibly beautiful piece of property and house that you bought. So kudos to you. I just think it's crazy to approve something with such historical value to tear it down and build something. And again, you know, taste is taste. I think that's a beautiful house also. I just don't think it belongs in to replace something like this. So if you, maybe there's a way to take the current house in its style, in the way that it looks, and build upon it, add to it, create something similar that gives the history look of what this house represents. But I think taking it to that, you know, doesn't make sense for El Portal. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments from the audience?
Hi, my name is Juliana Kolinger, 8650 Northeast Miami Court. Back in 2022, right after the pandemic, we did some updates on our house. When we bought our house 10 years ago, it was a less than 1,200 square feet house, 2-bedroom, 1 bath from 1930. And when we bought the house, our idea was, in fact, to renovate it, to add on to it. And we did. Now we have a 4-bedroom, 4-bath house with a nice den in the back. And what we did is we actually expanded upon the house that was there. We also made it blend in with the neighborhood. We were very conscious about it, and I have to say, everyone in the neighborhood appreciates it. I think we have a beautiful home that we were able to really make and meet our needs. So I just want to say I'm a testament that it is possible to do something like that from a very little house, a 2-1 house that we did, and still keep the charm of El Portal. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you very much, my sister. Any questions or comments from the audience? Okay, hearing, seeing none. Let's come back to the committee. So, a couple of things. So first of all, in the charter, under section 4.01, it says the mayor shall appoint, this is about the committees, the mayor shall appoint a council person to be chair and other members of the council as members of each committee. It's in the charter, under section 4.01. Okay. The mayor also shall be ad hoc chair to each committee. So we can't start resident boards, which I've started. I see a few people in here that's already on some of my resident boards. But as far as the official committees under section 4.01, the mayor shall appoint a council person to be the chair and other members of the council as the members of each committee. Okay. As far as the Charter Review Committee, that's a different entity, and that's something that Attorney Geller, Clerk Jacoby, we have more information on. We actually chose the Charter Committee. It was a year or so ago or something like that. So it was already chosen. It was all residents, but I believe there's still room open for more residents to be part of that committee. But that's about the charter in itself, and what happens with that is, so every, I believe it's 10 years or 15 years, we have to do a charter committee review, and so that residential committee, what they do is they come together and they'll say, well, you know what, I was looking at the charter, and as a committee they'll say, we think that you guys should change this, or this should be adjusted, or this should be adjusted. And what that is, those are suggestions. And then that comes to the council, and then we choose by majority vote what we may want to change in the charter. Then, depending on what we want to change in the charter, that goes out at the next general election to a referendum to be voted on by the residents of El Portal, and it has to pass I think a 60 or 65 cent level to be implemented, and then it's changed in the charter. So that's the charter committee review by the residents. Come on up, Ms. Baza. Go ahead, Mr. Stein.
Alexandra Baza, 120 Northwest 86th Street. I understand that that is the purpose of the charter. I believe it's every 7 years, which is, overdue. But also, I don't understand what is the point on having all the, all the members, and every single. I mean, it is beyond redundant. It's pointless, and a big loss of opportunities. We are a community of professionals, business owners. I think there's plenty of people here who can give excellent, advisory to the town. Thank you.
Thank you, and that's not to say we disagree, but you have to take that over for our predecessors who created the charter. They're the ones that put it in. To get anything changed in the charter, it first has to come to the council, passed by majority vote, then in the next general election, the residents vote on that change, the referendum, and it has to, I think, be at least 60 or 65% over. If you guys remember, and I said this in the previous meeting when this came up, in the last general election, there was an item that was marijuana, recreational use. That night of the election, I love government and elections and stuff, so when I was looking at all the results, I was like, oh, it got like 56% of the vote. It still failed. We don't have recreational marijuana because it had to reach a threshold of like 60 or 65%. I think it was 60, right? Okay, so that's what we have to do to change anything in the charter. And it was written by the individuals who first came and did this community, and that's what they put in the charter. And those are the rules that we govern by. Okay. Back to the committee, do we have any last questions or comments about this particular property?
Yes. Can you
Councilperson
hear me?
Lightfoot Ward. Yes, Member Lightfoot Ward.
It doesn't seem like, what I've heard, doesn't seem like it. I don't know either. It doesn't sound like it's gonna blend with El Portal. And there are not enough people, this is not just you all, there are enough people that have come and they really wanna change it. We wanna keep it like it is. It's a village. It's not the city of El Portal, it's the village of El Portal. I'm sure it's a beautiful piece of information. I'm sure that you're not gonna put up anything. But if it outstands and changes the how do you call it, Mayor? Change the atmosphere of where that building is going to be. We're not trying to do that. We're not trying to make it a Miami City. We want to keep it a village of El Portal. It's a village. That's what we want. And what you said sounded like something the Jetsons, you know who the Jetsons were, right? A cartoon. Sounded like something the Jetsons would do that didn't coincide with what we had. Had you brought a portrait of what it was going to look like, I'm sure everyone would see the picture. But I see pictures when you speak to verbs and when you speak to, what's that other thing called? Pictures. When you see it, and I can see it, and it's not gonna match. And then we're gonna sit around saying, well, we approved it. So I generally, it's like you said, you wanted to match, but you didn't bring any designs. You didn't bring us anything to let us see what it looks like.
May I speak?
Hold on. You're gonna do that to me right now, huh?
Whenever is the right time, I would love to speak, whenever it's
understand.
allowed.
Yes, not yet, not
Yeah.
yet. But I'm just being blunt. It has happened before, and we are not trying to make it happen again.
No, of course.
If it's blending, then that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's trying to escalate the value of the village, so that those of us that have been here 40 years or more, I just look good. Those of us that have been here that long, this is a beautiful village. People even come here for what do you call it when you're reviewing a city, pieces of the city? People come through here reviewing El Portal. We don't want it to change. We want it to be, you can do whatever you want on the inside. But on the outside, we're not trying to become a village that is not, that has a beautiful history. El Portal has a beautiful history. And I can tell you, I'm talking because I wasn't given to my racial situation. I was not welcomed here. But with a thrust and a review from my congressperson, I have been here now 35 years or close to it. So we're not prejudicial. We just don't want the village to be changed into something that it is not. And what I'm looking at right now doesn't look anything like the village, not even close. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the committee?
Yes, a couple comments and questions. So first, I'll just review quickly my concerns, and then I'll go through positives. So one concern I have is that this is the property that currently has hedgerows along the front. Is that right? Yep. Okay, so it's essentially obstructed view from the street presently. Is that right? There's a pool in the back presently. Is that right? Yep. What's the condition of the pool right now? Is it usable? Is it in excellent condition? Is it in fair condition?
No, it's bad.
Poor condition.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as the present vegetation on the front facing, right? So that offers quite a bit of privacy. Seems like, that is not a typo. That's a 20,000 square foot lot. Is that right? 19,600 feet? Yes.
Correct.
And your proposed construction is 4,000 and tipping the scales just over 4,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so, so one of my primary concerns is that you're going to remove the hedges during the construction. You're maintaining those.
Yes.
You're not going to be
We will probably remove some of them.
For the new driveway.
To get inside.
For the new driveway. Yeah. Okay, because presently the driveway is it's like gravel almost. It's pretty torn up, right? Okay.
Right.
And it kind of comes out of a very hidden pocket as well. I imagine you have some issues with lines of sight just exiting the property front and backwards, right?
We tried to
Okay.
open it, yeah.
Okay, so concerns I have are initially if you, you've answered those questions. So here's the positives. I will let the residents know that there is nobody else who has ever come in front of us with a 19,600 square foot lot and proposed a modest 4,000 square foot construction. Nobody. I fully expected this thing to be 9,500, 9,800. We have such buildings on other smaller lots. Am I saying something out of school here? I got people yelling at me. We'll find out in a minute when you guys talk again. But guys, nobody has proposed a 4,000 square foot air conditioned space to us when they have 19,600 square feet available to build on. I'm telling you right now, that's a net positive for the village. The design. I do feel it's a little bit office building in its present rendition. I try not to go on renditions too much because renditions are outrageously misleading. I do have one question about the rendition, though. Is the water feature that is presently described in the rendition, is that something that we are committed to as a design? My concern for that is long-term ability to maintain such an item. Again, it has a commercial property feel to it with the water feature because a commercial property would be able to maintain that over a long period of time. A private residence, I would have unbelievable concerns about the ability to maintain such a feature without it becoming decrepit essentially over, a period of time. Or certainly under new ownership in the event that you sell the property, right? I am thrilled that we're talking fruit trees, okay? Oh, sorry, that was the previous. We're not talking fruit trees on this property. Yes, okay. Yes, we are. Yes, that was, okay. Okay, so thrilled, okay? We also have not had anybody come and say that they're planting fruit trees. So while I have concerns about the design, those concerns are a little bit mitigated for a couple of reasons. One, you're going to be maintaining the privacy of the property. We're not talking about a 35-foot height here.
No.
What is the height? It's right here. I got it right here. Yeah, but
Height is 14.
yeah, it's shorter than it's shorter than the present property, correct? So in the event that the privacy vegetation is maintained in the front, I don't anticipate this being the eyesore that people are concerned about. We have had such an example already one time, at least in the village. That is with a piece of modern construction, 1-story, ranch-style floor plan, and it got all kinds of nicknames, and people were fairly offended by it, myself included initially. But that property has since it was designed to become more aesthetic over time. How? Because it was designed with a plan to allow for vegetation to both creep on the structure itself, as well as what they were presenting as far as other vegetation on the property. So in the renditions, because it's a rendition, you want to see the structure. So there's no vegetation in the renditions, right? So it looks like a bare space with a bare face, with with bland features. Again, part of the reason I don't fully go by renditions entirely. Another positive is it's not a 3-car garage. It's a 3-car carport.
Yeah.
I know that's not, we're going to split hairs on that, but a carport is better than a garage as far as fitting in with the aesthetic of the village. So I have concerns. I have concerns about the commercial feel of the design. I have concerns if that water feature would be something that would be implemented, again, because of long-term ability to maintain. And so I will also say this. I do believe in property owners' rights, and we have been through this ad nauseum over 10 years now, and we have established that we do not have the capacity to outright prohibit modern architecture in the village of El Portal. We want modern architecture to incorporate multiple textures, or not necessarily multiple, but textures and a combination of textures and facade that fit in with the nature aspect of El Portal. So, this, I think, is where it's a little abrasive for a lot of the residents to try and find within this rendition where the connection to the nature of El Portal is. The driveway, this is one of the most, in the rendition, okay? The fact that you have 3 cars wide and it almost immediately narrows to 12 feet wide, one car length, right, width. Again, we usually get the opposite. We get people trying to bring the width of that driveway out as far as they possibly can. And so it looks to me that there was a considerable amount of thought put into this with both the landscaping that we've discussed you could have gone to 35 feet tall. You could have doubled the square foot. You could have tried to hammer out a wider driveway. And so I am very appreciative in acknowledging that there was a considerable amount of thought put into this design. I don't know that I'm prepared to dismiss it out of hand at this very first stage. This is where you're going to receive all of the feedback from both residents and the council that you'll take to your architect, talk about possible changes or strategy for not making changes and selling us on not making changes, as we would see next time. As far as the existing structure, life is different now than it was in 1939. I have 1950 construction, CBS construction. The thing is built like a tank. It's not going anywhere, and it will survive. It survived Irma just fine. It's going to continue to survive. I feel very safe in my home. I have 4 kids. There's 6 of us living in a 1,200 square foot home. I have no closets. My bathrooms are 20 square feet, less, both bathrooms, okay? And so there is going to be a updated homes, especially in this village. We sit in flood zone X. There is probably $1 trillion on the table right now just for this area east of 95 between Buena Vista and 119th Street. And that's residential investment coming in. All right, MacArthur Dairy is gonna, its days are numbered. Someone's gonna make an offer on MacArthur Dairy, okay? And MacArthur Dairy is gonna be gone soon. That entire corridor from Buena Vista to 119th is where every investor in North America is looking at because it's flood zone X. So we're gonna have to figure out how to coexist with new, modern, and contemporary ideas, as well as integrate it in with traditional. I'm a mid-century modern guy, okay? I love, like, mid-century modern. That's me all day long. But here's the thing. I can promise you this, and you can poll the people in the audience. No one cares about my opinion. I've been told to my face by several of you, you don't care about my opinion, okay? And that's fine. 100% fine, okay? That we can't all agree on everything. So it's boiling down to what is a property owner's rights? What does the code and charter say? I agree wholeheartedly. In fact, I've been full-throated about this, that we need to get the Charter Commission back up so that we can make changes to the charter. So, having said all of that, I just want to say, it's clear you've put a great deal of thought into this. I would hope that you take questions, concerns, compliments, and complaints as you move forward and update renditions and finalize floor plans and things to that effect. And I would just say, for myself personally, I would just consider the long. In fact, here's my final question: how long do you intend for this property to exist as it is once it's built?
Forever.
That's
This
an
is our home.
excellent answer, and that's exactly what we want to have people with the mindset of coming into El Portal. I would like to have something that lasts an extremity into the future. So I don't know how the vote will go, because I don't even know how my vote will go at this very moment, but that is all the questions and comments that I have right now.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments from the committee?
Yes, sir. So I concur with Councilperson Erbaum. As one of the homeowners here in El Portal that has one of the old houses from 1930, and I've done everything in my power to keep it as original as possible, I would say that if my house was made out of wood, I would not be doing that. But I have block and concrete, and basically a crawl space that's 3 feet tall. And when water runs past my house, we're just watching the hurricanes pass by. So I'm also living in Sherwood Forest, which has all of the termite swarms 5 to 10 times a year. So when I saw your property, I saw the beauty of all those trees. And that's why the first question I asked was, were you going to maintain the trees? Because that is the way I see the future of El Portal being everywhere. It's not about the houses here. It's about bringing back the nature around everything. Now, if you go into Sherwood Forest, which you guys are not part of Sherwood Forest, but if you go into Sherwood Forest, many of the houses you cannot see because there's so much greenery around them, and that's beautiful. It's privacy. And when I went to your house and I looked at it, I couldn't find it for a little bit. I was trying to make my way around the hedges. So those that have issues with the construction or the visibility of it, they're not going to see it. That's the first main step, because you're not going to get rid of the shrubs, correct?
Correct.
All right, we're going to hold you to that. And the second thing is, there really isn't a standard El Portal look. We've been trying to figure this out for a long time. And, you know, if you're going to make something that's, like he said, going to last forever, I mean, strong concrete, strong block, I mean, make it so that it's going to withstand a Category 6 hurricane when it first arrives in Florida for the first time. We want to say, hey, that was an El Portal house. We want our predecessor to say that that's what we built here. So in what everything and everyone's saying, it's very sad to lose an older property, an older structure. But as we've seen in evidence, the Coconut Grove Playhouse that stood vacant and empty, full of homeless people for decades because they wanted to maintain the original ambiance and the original way it was built. It destroyed that area. It destroyed that section. And I don't want to see that for El Portal. I want to see El Portal grow. I want to see the families grow. So with your vision for your property, I respect it. Everyone has their own opinion. And hopefully that idea of a unified El Portal will finally come to a realization there is no unified look here. We are all individual houses with different looks, and we're not looking like everyone else around us. And we always appreciate that wonderful architectural uniqueness. So thank you so much for presenting today. If anyone else has anything to say?
Are there any other questions or comments?
I just have one thing. I do like your design. I think it looks really good, and I think that in the spirit of property owners' rights, you get to decide what your dream looks like, as long as it is in compliance with the rules and regulations that we have set forth. And according to the staff recommendation that we just received, you're doing that. The other elements of it, I am very hesitant to put forth my aesthetic preferences onto homeowners. So for me, the big questions were what's happening with those trees, and it seems like you have a good, solid, strong idea on how to preserve what I agree is just one of the unique elements of your property. And in addition to that, the staff's recommending approval. We don't have any setback issues or anything like that. And I do think that you have a right to say that you like modern architecture and that you have an idea that your property should look the way that you would like it to. So that's my comment, and I think I'm solid on where I land on this vote.
Thank you. Hi. My name is Raquel. Thank you very much.
Say your address again for us.
Sorry, my name is Raquel. Thank you very much for your comments.
Say your address for us again, please. The
Oh,
address.
sorry, my address. 194th Northwest 91st Street. We're a family of 4. My little one is over there. He's 8 years old. My husband is with my oldest one, who is 12 years old in a soccer practice right now. When we came to El Portal, we fell in love because of the nature. We fell in love because of the environment. To don't talk about my children, especially Enzo, who loves nature. Because of it, we decided that it wasn't in Portal where we wanted to actually build a home. This is not a project that has been put together in like 3 days. This is a project that has, as I mentioned, has had a lot of thought. We moved here not that long ago, a few weeks ago, and I must say that we also fell in love with the neighborhood because of the community. The fact that you're all jumping here and giving your opinion, it's because you care. And I do care as well, because that's where I'm going to have my home. So I actually appreciate it. We don't have to agree with the same taste, but I do appreciate that you care to be like, wait, what's happening in this street? What's happening with this home that is being built? So that to me, I'm like, oh, that's positive, even if I'm here defending my own project. So thank you, everyone. We had our neighbors coming and passing by and introducing themselves. We had a neighbor, Pearl, the street behind us, calling me, finding my own number because a package was actually delivered incorrectly. And I was blown away of this elderly woman who actually took the time to find me. And that's El Portal. That's what I'm grateful for. And this project was thought, number one, because of the trees, because of the animals, because of the environment. So I actually, David, who is the architect, wanted to come with me today because he actually cared about the project, and he can confirm that the first thing when we sit down and we talk, it was, look, this garden is absolutely gorgeous. And I have been learning about the species. I had no idea. I don't know much about trees. But we sit down to say, how do we do this house in a way that we embrace the environment? Because someone has taken care of it, and his name is Phil. He lived there for many, many years. And the last day, he actually left a photo of the old house Someone left it when he moved, and we still today have it, and we have it in a frame because of the love of the property. The house is built in an L shape, and that's purposely because usually this size is built in a U shape. The U shape will enclose the garden, and we wanted to open the space. The reason why it's this big is because we are 4. We work from home. We need an office. And I have a mom who has lost her husband during COVID. Sorry. So, my plan is for her to visit us long periods of time. So we needed a 5-bedroom home. It's not a luxury, it's a need for us because of what I said. The choice was, do we build 2 floors or we build 1? We thought that because of the environment and respectfully, because of the rest of the houses around us, 1 floor was the right choice to make. And because it's a double lot, there was enough space to put everything in 1 floor and to still have the garden without touching all the beautiful trees around it. And that's why we have 1 floor with an L shape and 5 bedrooms. We hope that you are also part of our lives, that you pass by and say hi, and that you get to know my family as well. I, again, respect your opinions, and that's because you care, so I embrace those. Thank you for your time. And again, we respectfully ask for your approval. And and about the state of the house right now, we have leaks. It's very old. When we went to buy the house and to sell it, it was communicated the first day. It was very honest by the agent. Look, this house needs a lot. And whoever comes here will have to invest on it. There were choices for investors to maybe divide the lot in 2 or to build and resell. And from the beginning, I was like, I want to find my home. Like, the kids will grow up. So yeah, the answer is this will be our forever home. Any questions or anything, I'm more than happy to answer. And again, thank you for your time. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you. Hold on one second, Greg. Hold on one second, Mr. Steer. Any questions or comments from the committee?
That was a very, very beautiful explanation of why you left the property. And I'm sorry for your mom's loss. And thank you so much for giving us an insight into you guys as a family. We pass by your house frequently. I have 2 boys, a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. So if you hear a lot of ruckus and a lot of like bike riding and hoopla, that's us. And definitely say hi.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
Mayor,
Yes.
to you all, I'm not against what you want to do. I'm concerned about what it's going to look like. We're not trying to become a big-time city. We want to stay a little village. And if your property is so unique from what it looks like, the value of ours is going to be, it's going to be changed. What I generally hear from most people is we're not going to change the aesthetics of how this village looks. That's the only thing I think about. I came in here and they didn't want me here because of the color of my skin. I don't care about that kind of stuff. I wanted to be here. I'm here. Going on 30-some years. I'm here. Sorry. 25 years, if not that. And what you said is so honest. I can sense you. It's very honest. Just make sure it blends with us. Please don't do like some folks are trying to do. They want to bring in a different commercialism. This is home for us. This is not to be the big times. This is the regular village that likes neighborhoods and neighbors, not trying to change it into a corporate something. Thank you so much for your honesty. Thank you very much.
Councilperson Lightfoot, appreciate that. That's wonderful. Did you get to see the house this week?
I did not.
I went there today, and it's about 100 feet from the new roundabout.
That's right.
And the new roundabout has no greenery, it has no plants inside the medium, it has nothing. Their house, about 100 feet away, is the only thing in that area that looks like
Yeah.
El Portal.
Yeah.
I think you're spot on here. We got to keep this thing going here, the El Portal greenery. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any last questions or comments from the committee? Okay, hearing seeing none. I did public comment, Mr. Steer, I'm gonna let you back up, but I just want to point, because people talk about transparency, how we don't have transparency, but Clerk Jacoby and Attorney Geller will tell you that public comment comes, is not debate, correct? And that when it's closed, it's usually closed. But Mr. Steer, I know you have something to say, so you go ahead.
Thank you. Again, this is not personal. I'm not questioning your motivation. We're happy to have you in El Portal. It's great to have new people here. What we don't want is people moving to El Portal because they love it and then tearing down a 100-year-old house because they love it so much. You can put up whatever you want, but the fact is the council has the right to say no. It's not just up to the property owner. I want to be very clear about that, and I'm really flabbergasted to hear at least 3 members of the council voting, basically siding with the whole idea that it's okay to tear down old houses in El Portal and put up mini McMansions. That's really surprising. Councilperson Erbaum said that he was surprised that they didn't ask for a bigger house. How much bigger than 4,000 feet can you get? I understand it's a 19,000 square foot lot, but the fact is the zoning allows up to 40% footprint. This house is 39 and a half. Right now it's 8.
That's not correct. It includes the driveway and the.
That's 7,000 total. 7,000 total with the driveway and everything else. So the zoning allows 39 and a half, 40% is 39 and a half. So what, they could have built an 8,000 square foot house. For that, we should be thankful that they didn't build something with 2 stories and 8,000 square feet. I mean, you talk about trees. Trees are great. Trees can be replaced. Houses can't. Thank you.
Go ahead. Say your name and address, please.
Kathy Ramos, 60 Northwest 91st Street. We're going to be neighbors, so welcome to the neighborhood. Again, going back to the council approving the type of design, our next door village, that we use a lot of their policy and to influence how we act. You can't get a flat roof approved right there in Miami Shores. You can't. They go and they say you can't get that approved because of aesthetic, it doesn't fit the village design. We have a charrette. We can use some guidelines of our village to help influence votes. So if possible, if you could change your design to conform just a bit, because I do like your house, but if we could use it to match the character of the neighborhood, I think that would be very welcome by all the neighbors. Also, you do have Dade County pine in your house. It's extinct, it's not available anymore. If you do end up tearing down your house, if you could salvage it, because it's not available anywhere else, that would be wonderful. And clarification from the council, they have beautiful silver buttonwoods, a native tree to South Florida, in your front hedge. From what I understand, front hedge is not allowed. So is that grandfathered in? Because I don't want someone coming back in a year and saying you have to tear it down because it's against code. We even had a community event here asking if we could make it part of our code. So there seems to be a little bit of a discrepancy there.
If I could, real quick, Mayor.
Do we have any more public comment? 1 second.
Yep.
Ms. Boston. Right after she goes, member.
Alexandra Baza, 120 Northwest 86th Street. I do not only understand your right to build your dream home, to accommodate your needs, your family, especially because truthfully, nobody's gonna see it. But again, I am concerned about lot coverage, how that is going to impact the rest of the community. It is not just the size of the house, and I understand why you did it one floor to try to minimize the impact, environmental impact. But in this, especially because what you said, we are in an X-flood zoning. We need every piece of impervious area that we can use. So decks, pools, all of that does count. It's not just the size of the house. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, back to the committee, Member Urban.
Yeah, just real quick. So that was actually the purpose of my question about the vegetation up front, was because if they plan to alter that in any way, the resident is correct. That would have to, like, if you took it out to allow construction equipment in, for example, that hedge is not coming back up again. So as I saw, I looked at satellite images and stuff like that, but that was my first question in my mind was, is this vegetation in the frontage, which would not typically be allowed, is it going to remain, right? So to the resident's point, just do be aware that if you are taking out the hedges to accommodate construction equipment, those hedges will not be going back in again. That is absolutely correct. I actually, that was another thought I had actually, was about the level plane of the roof in terms of no interruption or disruption of that line, right? And so I do take the residents' comment on that. I've had similar comments. And as far as being flabbergasted, I'm flabbergasted there wasn't a riot over the 8900 property, the addition, because the driveway looks like 15 feet wide, and it's going to be 35 feet tall across. The reason I got a little confused on that one was because the property across the street, which is currently being built, I do think is a monstrosity, and I have massive concerns that its setbacks aren't correct. And I've already been raising some issues on with that. And so the previous addition that we saw earlier is going up right across the street from that. And so understanding all of that, again, I am greatly appreciative of the carport aspect. There is nobody coming to us with carport in their design, and I think that it actually fits in extremely well with the aesthetic of the village in its openness and invitation. The windows in the front facing of the house is very inviting and speaks to. Years ago, we had an extensive process to figure out about what would be allowed in front, whether fences would be allowed in front, gates, all of these things. And in that study, we learned that neighborhoods that allow gates in the front of their properties are actually not as safe as other neighborhoods where everything is open. So lines of sight, visibility, neighbors being able to see each other, and things to that effect. So the general aesthetic seems inviting, I have to say, with the carport, with the giant windows, and things to that effect. Again, renditions are, through experience on this council, I've learned to take renditions with a grain of salt and try to understand what the overall goal of the design is. And so I know that, you guys are taking notes on what people are saying and things to this effect, and we'll see what might be presented at the next iteration. But I did just want to get that on the record that the resident is correct. If those front hedges would be disturbed, they're not going back in. And then just to say that if there would be something to break up the level line of the roof line, that would probably be considered an improvement by the residents and neighbors, as far as that being more in line with the overall feeling here in the village of El Portal.
Thank you very much, Member Urban. Anyone else from the committee?
Yeah, I wanted to say one last thing. So there was a resident that said something about the Miami Shores houses, that they have pitches. And I wanted to just clarify on something, that if we are able to, in the next few years, actually create some kind of precedent or some kind of code that allows us to restrict our new builds to have pitch roofs, that's something I'm completely for. I understand the hazards of having a flat roof in a forest, as I have 2 roofs on my house. One is 9/12 pitch, where everything falls off, and the other one's a flat roof where I have to rake it every 3 months on top of the roof. So I understand that a lot of insurance companies prefer flat roofs for obviously hurricane reasons, but aesthetically they are not pleasant to the eye. And I think a lot of the times when we call something modern and not looking like El Portal, it's because of that flat roof. As I see that no one's going to see your house anyways because you have so many trees in front of it, hopefully you don't remove the hedge as little as possible when you move your excavators in there. I mean, maybe consider getting more of a pitch roof. If you plan on living there, your trees are going to leave so many leaves on your roof that your leaves are going to rot through your roof. They'll create acid and they'll go right through it. It's not a fun experience to stand on your roof and rake. I can tell you from the last 13 years of raking my roof. But other than that, you know, no one's really going to see the property, so you can do the hard work yourself. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Anybody else from the committee? Okay, hearing, seeing none. Before I ask for a motion, just wanted to answer one other question. Ms. Ramos. There you are. How you doing, Mr. Ramos? So the way the whole code thing works, when I came in as mayor, for just so many decades, we just didn't have true code enforcement, and things were kind of like all over the place. So the compromise that, you know, we just kind of came up with was everything that you have, because when I came in, it was COVID, a lot was going on, things like that, financially and stuff like that. And so we have rules that are in place. For decades, those rules were not followed, sometimes followed, halfway followed, sometimes strictly followed, but the rules were on the books. So this was the compromise I came up with. I said, look, when I came out, I said, everything that everybody has, they can have. Because I'm not gonna make everybody tear up concrete that's not supposed to be in the swell. I'm not gonna have everybody do, it's just too expensive. I'm not gonna put that type of burden on the residents. So I said, if you have it, you can have it. The moment you go to change it, you have to fall into code. So to answer your question with them, they have it, they can have it. But if they were to go, let's say right now at this moment, now hopefully we can change these things, but if right now, let's say tomorrow, she was like, you know what? I want a new style of hedge. She's changing it. She can't do that. All right? The perfect example that I like to give that everybody can understand is the roofing example. There's still some houses in El Portal that have shingle roofs. That's not allowed in our code. But we don't bother you. But the moment that you go to redo your roof, you have to fall into code. So that's why sometimes you'll have residents call me and they'll be confused. They'll be like, man, Mayor, like, you know, I got this, but there's a house down the street around the corner that also has it. But if they had it before I came into office and they haven't changed it, that's why we're not bothering them. All right? And that's kind of how it goes. But we need to clean everything up, doing the best we can. Any last questions or comments from the committee, or I'm going to ask for a motion from the audience?
Yeah.
How you doing? How you doing?
Hi. Edna Edelman, 301 Northeast 88th Street. I mean, the one thing that I've been listening to is really what seems to be, and I'm sorry, I'm interrupting your approval session, but we seem to have no aesthetic codes. I mean, you brought up Miami Shores does not allow a certain type of roof, but here it seems like anything goes. I mean, I live across the street from one of the big concrete buildings, and monstrosities going up behind me as well. So it does seem like anything goes, even though we're torturing you right now. And it comes back to the same thing that we hear in every meeting. When do we change the charter? When do we change the code? What kind of meetings do we have? When do we see the results of the survey that was done regarding the charter? I'd like to actually come away from one of these meetings with a concrete target and plans for our residents, boards, committees that involve us, and actually a plan to make changes to the code and the charter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In the next meeting, the first agenda item is Senate Bill 180, and on that, I'll explain a lot of that. Okay? No, in the next meeting. In the next meeting. All right. Any last questions or comments from the committee, or do I have a motion?
I'll motion approve.
Motion by Member Winters. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chair Martin. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call?
Roll call, Member Lightfoot Ward.
I'm supposed to go first anyways.
Yeah, either way it was Winters. It's just how's in the agenda right now. Member Winters?
Yes.
Member Lightfoot Ward?
Majority rules.
I couldn't hear you.
Majority rules.
Okay. You still have to vote.
Member Lightfoot, you have to vote.
That's it. Said majority rules, because I know what I want to say, but I don't want to make it up. Finish everybody, then I'll tell you what I am.
No, say what you
No.
want to say.
No. This is how the votes work, you all. The votes work by the chair, the vice chair, or mayor, vice mayor, depending on what type of meeting you're in. Right now, we're in a committee meeting, so it's chairs.
But
Chair,
she has to
vice,
vote.
chair,
But she doesn't vote before the chair.
chair, vice chair, then you have the members, and it goes from seniority and then alphabetical order. So, Member Winters is the newest member, so he votes first. Then we go to seniority. Out of seniority, you have Urban, you have Ward and Martin that came on at the same time, but Martin is the vice chair. So Ward's the next vote. Then there's Urban. Urban's more senior. Urban's been on longer than Martin and Ward. Okay, then it's Urban. Then it's the vice chair, Martin. Then it's the chair, myself. And that's how it goes. Okay, it goes position. Then it goes to the seniority as far as how long you've been on, and then alphabetical order. So we've had Winters vote. The next vote is Lightfoot Ward.
I'm gonna vote yes, because next time I'm gonna tell you, if it's like that, Mayor, they should have said something, because I never know it in that angle. I never knew it. I'm not blaming you, I'm not doing anything, I just didn't know. It sounded like we are just trying to get through. I wanna make this person, it could have been me. They ain't doing nothing wrong. It could have been me, but is it clear to everyone? That's all.
Thank you.
Member Urban?
Yes.
Vice Chair Martin?
Yes.
Chair Nickerson?
No.
4-1, motion passes.
Do I have any last one person for good and welfare of any type, or can we move to adjournment?
Motion to
Hearing
adjourn.
none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So be.
Yeah, Winters motion to adjourn. I'll second.
Okay, motion by Member Winters, second by Member Irvine. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing none, the October 28th Planning and Zoning Committee meeting is adjourned at 8:00 p.m. We'll take a minute, and then we'll go into the council meeting, because Clerk Jacoby has to speak to a couple of